back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to talk about books that have changed my mindset just because I'm an avid reader. I love these type of videos because I'm always looking for new books, and so I hope that these books will resonate with you. It makes you want to read them, and then I'm curious to hear books that you are reading as well. So let's get started. Okay, so the first book I wanted to talk about is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book was actually gifted to me by a friend in 2020, and it just felt like the right book at the right time. And why I say that is because during that time, I was definitely going through a phase of trying to figure out how to establish and keep these healthy habits. The way that this book is written is so digestible, it's so easy, there's so much graphics and visuals in it that it makes all of these lessons and ideas that James Clear have so easy to just comprehend. And this is truly my Bible when it comes to productivity. I feel like there were so many quotes that just really resonated with me, and I'm going to put some in, but the one that resonated most with me is the following. When you're in motion, you're planning, strategizing, and learning. Those are all good things, but they don't produce a result. Action, on the other hand, is a type of behavior that will deliver an outcome. When I read that quote and that whole section, it just blew my mind because it felt like that was how I was living my life for so long, but I didn't realize I was living my life in that capacity. And now, whenever I find myself overwhelmed with just having so many things to do and thinking about all the things that I want to do, I realize that I'm living in motion compared to action. So then it's easy for me to hit that switch and be like, oh, okay, action wise now, like, how are we gonna do it? And it just shows you that the daily habits that you build is what creates a successful life. It's not that you were born onto this earth better than anyone else or someone has a greater chance of becoming successful. It's the hard work that you put in, and that really does stem from the daily habits. Now, going into the second category, I have 3 books. So this is self-development, personal growth, mental health, whatever you want to categorize it. I honestly want to give gratitude because I think these books have just helped me significantly through my ebbs of life, and I don't know if without them I could even be here. It just has really given me comfort and warmth. So let's dive into them. The first book I have is The 7 Levels of Intimacy by Matthew Kelly. To be honest, this book put a lot of the thoughts that I was having into words. Now, this book is broken up into the 7 levels of intimacy. There's an intro and then also a conclusion, and it talks about how in each different levels what that level of intimacy looks like. And the reason why I even started reading this book was because I felt like I was personally struggling with intimacy, and I was living life letting people either know me 0% or 100%. And so I think like in the last 2 years, I was really navigating, how do I let someone know me 25%? How do I let someone know me like 50%? And I think like this book talks about how intimacy is what makes you feel connected to a human being. I just think that no matter who you are, you can take so many things away from this book, because as human beings, we all value intimacy. We want to feel connected, and beyond everything, now that I have this knowledge under my belt, when I go about meeting new people or even talking to friends that have been in my life, I can now think about, oh, what level are we in? Do I want to increase this level of intimacy? Do I want to keep it here, or do I kind of want to decrease it? And I just feel a lot more educated in terms of how to go about it. So the second book I wanted to talk about is 101 Essays That Will Change the Way You Think by Brianna West. This book is my holy Bible when it comes to mental health, and I think this book does such a phenomenal job at doing that. Every single time I come back to this book, I feel like I leave gaining something new out of it. Even if it's the same chapter over and over again, depending on the phase of life that I'm in, a new sentence or a new paragraph will click. This book is broken down so simple, where each chapter is a new essay, and it ranges from all topics of life, from personal development to self-love to relationships to friendships to depression to anxiety, and it just, the spectrum of life lessons that I have taken away from this book is just truly immaculate. And I think for anyone that is also wanting to get into reading, this is such a great book because of how simple it is written, and it's so applicable, and I'm sure there are thousands of quotes that will really resonate with you too. Now, the last book I wanted to talk about is called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb. I definitely butchered her last name, so please correct me if I'm wrong. This book completely changed my opinion about therapy. The synopsis of the book is this therapist who helps her clients work through their issues, whatever that is, and the issues will vary depending on the character that you're talking to. All at the same time though, she's navigating her own life. And it's interesting because, you know, I feel like for myself, I idolize therapists as someone that just has their shit together. They know what they're doing, they just have it all figured out. But through this book, you realize that they too are a human being navigating life just as well. And it just shows you that there's no one right answer for life. There's so many ways to approach life, so many different rules, so many different options, and it just is coming down to what works for you, because you have your own sets of experiences, traumas, beliefs, values, and it's finding what is going to speak to you. And you can't help but feel emotional because you see all these people who are struggling with their things, and it shows you that I think if you got a chance to just get to know someone one-on-one and hear about their stories, you can probably find a common ground with them. Yeah, this book was just a feel-good book that really pushed me to become more empathetic, be more understanding, and honestly just like take control of my own life and do what's right for me, what's gonna make me feel good. Okay, so I'm currently editing this video and I don't like the original conclusion that I had, so I'm filming it again. Pretty much what I wanted to say is truly beyond all of these books, in the end, to some capacity, one or another is telling you the same thing, just written by a different tone, by a different author. And not to discredit any of the authors, just because I truly do love reading. I think knowledge is really power when it's applied. And what I mean by that is you can only read so many books before you need to start living life and letting life teach you along the way as well. So it's that balance between motion, which is reading, and then action, which is living your life. So yeah, I just wanted to say that is how I really found a lot of these books insightful. All right, I will see you in my next video.